Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bling Bling Jam YouTube station. Today, I have the honor to interview Miss Jill Shortreed, who is a owner, still an owner of her own business, the Charleston, South Carolina Balloon Company, and she's now the director at Anagram. And we're super excited to have her of education, that is, at the Bling Bling Jam. And we're going to first talk to her about her balloon career, who she is, where she's from, how she got started, and it should be a really, really interesting. So without further ado, here is Jill. Welcome to the Zoom.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, my story, my backstory.
Yeah,
Okay. So, some people may know who this person is, and some people, most new people probably will not. But
yeah.
many, many moons ago, when I first started my balloon journey, I owned a very teeny tiny party shop.
You
I
did?
mean, it was like, I did. Yes.
Oh,
That's how I
wow.
started. Very, very small party shop.
Really?
Yeah. Um,
Do we not say how
and
many years ago that was? No, we don't have to. No, you don't have to. Many years
let's
ago.
just say it was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Almost, yeah, over 25 years ago.
Okay.
So probably pushing 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had this teeny tiny little shop, and I had a balloon rep from Qualitex, and it was the infamous Linda Bruce.
Oh, yes.
So, for anybody, obviously, an old timer, us old timers will know who she is. I was graced with her presence. She came to the shop with the local sales rep, and the sales rep had said, "Hey, can I bring this person to show you some stuff?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's cool. Like free training. Yeah, whatever." We sold balloons, but we didn't sell balloons to that magnitude. It was just a balloon on a string. And she taught us how to do the original pacifiers and the rattles, and we were working with geos and double stuffing and
Yeah.
making gumballs and all that fun stuff. So she spent a couple hours at my shop with my staff, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like we can do this with balloons. Like
Yeah.
this is a whole thing. And yeah, that's how my balloon journey got started.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a great story.
So
Now
so it
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. So yeah, I was primarily a party store that sold balloons,
Wow.
and then I expanded out, and then I expanded out.
And
We
that
did a
started
lot.
off in South Carolina. Was your South
No,
Carolina?
that was actually we were in New Jersey. We were based
Oh,
in
you
New
started
Jersey
that in
back
New
then.
Jersey.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah. So we had clients that were. We did the Stone Pony. So if anybody's familiar with Bruce Springsteen, we did the album Rise, the Rising album release for
Oh,
him.
wow.
Yeah, the Stone Pony. We did work for MTV.
Yeah.
We did. Um, we've been at Bon Jovi's home to do events, and yeah, so we did a lot of big,
Wow.
like local Jersey celebrities. We traveled a lot. Back then, though, I was jump castles. I was food. I had food machines. I had an entertainment staff.
Oh, wow.
You know, I had the whole nine yards, and we had expanded out twice. And then
Yeah.
my husband ended up getting transferred to South Carolina. An opportunity
Oh,
came up, and it was one of those opportunities. It was a once in a lifetime job move.
yes.
So it was like I had to decide what to do.
Yeah.
Um, Back then, I was still, I'm going to use the word a little green on the whole business savvy
Yeah.
part.
I understand.
Although I was very much a pioneer in the firm believer, if anybody's ever attended my class, they know I'm going to beat them to death over the internet. Like,
Yeah.
you need to be on the web. You need to be on the web. You have to have a website. I was one of the women that got approached that actually had a company presence on a web on the internet, and actually ran a business and had a domain name. I did that from day one when I started my first company.
Right.
So I got to become a mover and a shaker in that
Oh,
realm of things. So yeah, I have a couple books that I've been interviewed in and stuff like that.
Oh,
So that's
nice.
kind of, yeah,
Neat.
that's kind of exciting. And then when he got transferred, it was after 9/11. So
Okay.
we were thinking, okay, um, let's keep the business open, but it's really hard when you're that far away to be an absentee owner. So
Yeah, right.
I decided, I made the decision like, we're just going to close out down shop. Like I can't do it. It's too stressful to be, you know,
Hmm.
half the, stretch
Yeah,
of the East Coast away.
yeah.
Um, so we decided to close it down, and we just kind of sold off the bits and pieces. And as my new neighbors and new friends found out what I did for a living, they kept saying, well, can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? And I was just like, dang, I ain't doing this for free.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we were reborn. And then I
So that was
restarted.
in South Carolina.
That was in South
Yeah.
Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was at about 2006. I reopened a party store. In 2010, I closed the party store
Really?
and completely focused on balloons.
Wow.
So I have been working in the field of balloons solely since 2010.
Wow.
So yeah.
So wait a minute. When you were in New Jersey, what
Hmm.
prompted you to buy or start your own party store or whatever, or the small store that you had?
Okay.
How did that happen?
So that story
Yeah.
is more family oriented. So we have 5 children.
Okay. Wow.
We throw a lot of parties.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So that's all I can say is back then, financially, things were a little different for me than they are
Right.
now.
Right.
So it was always like, oh, how can I figure out how to do this on the,
Yeah. The
I throw
budget.
so many parties for my kids. Birthdays were always big for our kids. We always made a big deal out of them.
Sure.
We were always entertaining. So that's
Right.
kind of how that was born. It was like, well, I kind of do this already. It's like, and you'll hear that nowadays with most people. Like, I got into balloon industry because I was making it. I was a PTA mom and I was making balloons, for the school
Yes.
or whatever. So same type of scenario way back then. So ladies, you did not invent that. That was done 25 years ago. Uh,
Right. Right.
so, so yeah, that's kind of how that got,
Yeah.
evolved. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, really cool. That's
Yeah.
great. So, okay. So when you met Linda Bruce at the party store and you saw those different designs and you kind of it sounds like you were like had a couple aha moments like wow.
Uh-huh.
Um, is that when your mind got expanded more about thinking about creating balloons at that store or not really?
Yeah, we did. We learned the value of an upsell.
Mm-hmm.
We learned about the value of selling the emotion of the balloon.
Yeah.
We learned, that it was so much more than an 11-inch balloon on a string.
Yes.
So yeah, we very quickly made a name for ourselves. Um,
Cool. So you
our
started in
actually,
decor then, in a sense.
yeah, yeah, for the
Okay.
most. So our very, very first decor job
Mm-hmm.
was a wedding
Mm-hmm.
that was picked up in the Domino, oh no, not Domino's, Pizza Hut parking lot.
What do you mean picked up? What does that mean?
I don't even know how my husband ended up. He must have been there. I don't know what he was doing, but I can remember that is where the first true balloon job that we did was a wedding, and
It was the parking lot?
it was so kind of, no, they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have it there, but that's where the whole, I don't know if my husband was talking to
Oh,
somebody
got
or
it.
what. I don't remember the whole details because again, that's a quarter of a century
Yeah, I
ago.
get it. I get it.
Um, but that was our very, very first job, like
Wow.
like job. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many years do you think after the you had the store that you were doing balloon decor that after that job that you just the first job
Uh-huh.
you mentioned, how many years do you think you were doing balloon jobs out of the store in New Jersey?
Oh, I mean, from the day, like as soon as that started. I mean, we
Oh,
did corporate
and
events, we did grand
oh,
openings, we
oh,
did,
okay.
yeah. We would, it would be cheap. Back then it was cheaper for them to hire us to travel into the city than it was to actually hire somebody out of the city. So we would go into New York,
Right.
we would go into Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we would go down to southern Jersey. So we were sitting right on the coast. So we were right in central Jersey
Oh,
on the
got it.
shore. So
Okay. Oh, cool. Wow.
yeah,
I love that. Okay, that's cool.
yeah.
So, okay, so you were booking entertainers on things like that, or food you were
Hmm.
saying as well. Um, were you booking out, just out of curiosity, back then, were you booking out like balloon twisters or face painters or magicians, or you didn't go there?
We didn't do magicians.
Okay.
I did have girls that were talented that did face painting and
Yeah.
tattoos.
Okay.
We had basic balloon twisting, but it was never like I never got involved in like you ask me to this day like to do anything. If it's past a dog or a flower, like
Yeah.
that's it. Like
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
got.
Yes.
Um,
But you
you
know the
know, but
industry. This is like pretty well rounded. I mean, I knew you were well rounded, but I didn't know you were this well rounded because
oh
you
well, thank
actually own
you.
no seriously because you actually own like sort of entertainment. You were supplying a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
So that takes a lot of knowledge and
We
experience.
had
That's-
we had jump castles, we had
Wow.
concessions.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had carnival, like we would rent out like the carnival games, and
Yeah. So you
yeah,
did it up.
yeah.
That's
So
great. That's great. So okay, so you moved to New Jersey. I'm sorry, to South Carolina.
South
Sorry,
Carolina, yep.
initially. And then you were doing stuff for fun for friends, and then decided to start charging. Was that new stuff that you had to learn? Well, obviously there's always new stuff to learn, but is from what you learned we're doing in New Jersey in terms of like the decor part,
Hmm.
and then you said you opened another store. How and when did that happen as a result of
So
that?
yeah, so that would have been about 2006,
Right.
give or
You
take.
said that.
Um,
Till
and
2010.
yeah, I did not get. We did not go back into like face painting and tattoos and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
I did not do that.
Okay.
We did stick with like concessions and jump castles. However, the difference was we made things more self serve, so
Yeah.
they would come pick up and not necessarily have the staff. We've always had a problem down here for whatever reason. It's a little bit of an affluent area.
Yeah.
The help is not here like it was up
Yes.
north.
Got it.
So, and now after COVID, that's even
Oh,
worse.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So,
It's hard to get help. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I have had, we have staff. We have had
Yeah.
good staff, but it's like they're very picky staff,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I get it. So, okay, so you closed the store and you did full decor down there. I know you said, like, you told me before your daughter's running it or going to be running it. Um,
yeah, yep, yep, she's in charge of it now.
Okay, so you've had that for a bunch of years there. And
Yep.
what is your focus with your decor business? You have a focus, or or was there areas that because I know you're a full you have so much knowledge from your experience you do, and I don't know if it was we always I know all of us we'll do jobs that come in, we'll do everything, a lot of us, but then you want to learn a little bit more. Let's about the bar mitzvah market. If you're not familiar, you really want to kind of cash in on it, or you want to learn more about the wedding market or whatever it might be. Did you have anything like that? I know you have a lot of wedding stuff, so I wasn't sure, but I don't know if that's an area you focus on or not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Charleston's a destination
It
spot.
is. Yeah.
We do a lot of I'm going to use the word vacation celebrations.
Oh
So
yeah.
there'll be a lot. We do a lot with the hotels. The
Oh yeah.
hotels actually call in the orders of concierge. So we have
Oh,
great
nice.
relationships with all the hotels
Yeah.
here. They'll take care of that, or they send off. So the way the business is structured now, it is structured very much so to run 24/7 on its own.
Oh, perfect.
So it is a full e-commerce.
Oh, okay.
So you can actually go in and order a balloon garland. You can order, whatever size, and add embellishments to it. You
Wow.
can build a bouquet. we we're able to unload obsolete product or product we don't want to carry anymore by just offering designer choice bouquets. And
Yeah,
that's how we just get rid of product we don't want to carry anymore. It's
sure.
pretty easy that way, especially now with Qualitex being gone and everybody else.
Right.
It's just really easy to be able to unload product that way. And a lot of customers don't want to think. So,
Yeah.
but having that whole pre-designed option on the website definitely allows them to go in and if they're a visual person, go in, type what they're looking for, just order it online. They can order it and schedule it for pickup, or they can order it and schedule it for delivery.
Like an FTD.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
There are rush charges if you're same day.
Yeah.
Um, we do have minimums. We encourage customers if they don't want to pay the delivery fee or we're full and they can't do it, that we have a lot of customers who we say order an Uber.
Oh, yeah.
Uber come pick up your balloons and deliver them to you
Oh,
all day
that's
long.
great.
Yeah, we don't do that
I
for
didn't even think
them.
about that
Oh
before.
yeah, we do all day
Yeah.
long. So yeah,
Uber,
but
Uber
the
balloons.
Uber balloons, I know,
Right.
right? Could be a whole thing,
Right.
but primarily the three focuses are the business is set up as a retail store,
Okay.
so a customer can come in, but there is nothing here except balloons.
Right.
So that's all we have, or a balloon related product like a teddy bear to go along with it or something along
Yeah.
those lines. But there is nothing, there's no paper goods, there's no birthday candles, there's no greeting cards, there's none
Right.
of that here. Um, so the customer can walk in, they can pick up one balloon, they can go online, they can order one balloon. We guarantee balloons will be ready in 2 hours or less. So then that includes a garland. So we make that guarantee. Um, we have a system that will not oversell. So we actually have a bundling system in the background. So everything is formulated out in which if you're buying this garland, the whole thing is recipeed out that the exact balloons that are in this garland come out of inventory. So it is
Great.
very, it's very methodical. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Systematic. Yeah.
yeah,
That's great. Wow, very cool. Or I didn't know all
yeah,
that either. So,
yeah.
okay. So, I know we're gonna swing into Anagram, but
Okay,
was there anything else? I know, I guess your daughter's running the company now and
she
type of
is.
thing. And was there anything else you want to share? Because you have so much knowledge as well. But for people to know that are watching this YouTube about your balloon career that we missed, or something that I know we're gonna talk, like I said, talk about Anagram, but your personal business balloon career. Is there anything else we missed? We might have said everything.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot, but guess what? When you
Yeah,
come to my class, it says ask Jill
that's
anything.
true.
You can ask me those
Yeah,
questions.
yeah,
So start getting your
exactly.
questions ready.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So Anagram. So
Yes.
I people are messaging me, and I know that Molly came to Bling Bling a couple years back, and
Uh-huh.
he wanted to know what the Twisters could do with foils. And I thought, and she had mentioned to me they were thinking about getting latex or something like that, or they had it in your, I don't know what she was saying, something to that effect. And then it was like nothing was happening. And then all of a sudden, around Christmas time, you guys were posting on Facebook, and a bunch of people saying, "Oh my God, did you see that Anagram has latex balloons? They have twisting balloons. They have everything." I'm like, "No way." And then I see you're posting. I'm hearing about you to taunt it, and I remember you from, like, I want to say 20 years ago, but you taught a class. I think it was in Boston, and and I know it was really a good class because I'm a twister, but your marketing mind was like, I speak your language, right? So I understood, right? And I thought you knew, you always made an impression. Like, I know this woman knows her stuff. So I was excited to know that you are involved as the new marketing director, or educational director, sorry, of Anagram. As I know, you have a lot of knowledge, and it's not just, how should I say this? Um, these huge designs that are beautiful, but you can't sell them to the average
Right.
people. It's like common sense stuff. And I know, talking to you, I remember, and having a conversation, you can tell you know what you're talking about, and you've actually done it. So that's why it was brilliant, that to find that out. Anyway, how did that happen that you got, that was a mouthful. Sorry, Jill.
That's okay.
How did that
I'm
happen?
actually kind of flattered. I mean,
Oh,
20
good.
years and I've left an impression. I
Yeah, oh,
mean,
yeah. Yeah. You spoke the same language. I mean, and I think that, you know, like I tell everybody, and we had this conversation too, and people that are watching, of course, show Joe some love and put a comment or and a like, of course. But this is true. I remember having a conversation with you, and I felt the same way. We all love our balloon brand and companies, and I was a Qualitex user when they were around, and they had some great things they offered, but they had a lot of classes that didn't make sense, and they had people teaching them. Nothing wrong with the artists, so anybody listening, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you can't sell everything. Of course, you have a buyer, you can sell something. I'm not saying that either. But in terms of on a regular basis, they always had a lot of people teaching things that weren't sellable. And that was the thing that people said always, good, bad, or indifferent. But your stuff is like right on point with that in terms of like what you speak and looking at your class descriptions, like, okay, it's right on there. And we had this discussion before too. So I don't know. Hope I didn't say anything wrong. I wasn't trying to say
Yeah,
anything
no.
okay about anybody or any company. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to say, hey, listen, I think it's great to have somebody like you working at a balloon brand that actually has done it and actually can tell people what to do to benefit. And guess what? With that kind of knowledge, we're going to want to buy more balloons. But I
Hmm.
also want to know, how did this happen that they were able to get you there? And when and how did it happen that they got the line of latex? Do you know that story? Because that's a lot to say.
Oh, okay. So the latex
Yeah.
story, actually, I don't know that journey. What I do
Oh,
know
okay.
is when the latex was being brought in, the conversation opened up with me.
Oh, okay.
You know, that, but it was also like I've made no secret that I was exiting. It was in the last float convention.
Yeah.
I made it known like, hey, 2025, I'm out. Like I'm retiring. I have an exit plan, which most people do not have with their
Yeah.
companies.
Wow.
My exit plan is my daughter was taking it over.
Yeah.
She still gets an assist from me. I still oversee stuff, when she needs it or has a question or
Of
whatever.
course.
But that is my exit plan. That is my strategy.
Yeah.
Um, as much as I would say I would love to be sitting on a beach somewhere doing nothing,
Yeah.
my husband and I are building a brand new home,
Yeah.
and this opportunity afforded me to kind of still keep working.
Yeah.
And my passion and again, you've been in my classes, obviously after 20 years, still leaving an
Yeah.
impression.
Yeah.
I am passionate about helping other people succeed.
It shows. Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
this was that avenue that kind of, I'm going to use the word, manifested itself into my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. I believe that.
So I have spoken. So I'm going to backstory that a little bit.
Yeah.
When Qualitex first approached me to
Hmm.
teach for them,
Yes.
okay, they approached me from the aspect I was their first teacher to ever teach a business class.
Really? Wow.
Really.
And then we had
So,
this discussion. Yeah. Yeah. Which makes
yeah,
sense. Right.
right. So, doing that, I was all excited. Now, I'll teach you whatever you want to know about balloons that I can possibly teach you,
Right.
but it does not a lick of good if you can't sell it.
Exactly.
You can't market it. You can't price it for profit. Like all
Right.
those things go into, making a successful balloon company.
Right.
As much so as how are you structured? I'm not an accountant, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not any of that stuff. I can only tell you my personal experiences.
Right.
But if you don't have that team in place to support you on your infrastructure, and if you don't have that team to support you on the um, business side, meaning like growing your knowledge base and all that stuff. And that's, going to Bling Bling, going to Float, going to all
Yeah.
these other training things, going to the Anagram tour we have coming up. So if you're in any of
Yeah.
those, areas where we have this coming up, because the first stop is directly after you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
we're going to Cerritos, California. So I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited for that. That's our first tour stop.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
if you don't continue to grow your business with learning something new, either
Mhm.
through the industry itself or outside the industry,
Yeah.
there is no way you're going to grow.
Right.
No way. You've got to learn something. I am still learning. 30
Yeah.
years almost doing this, and I am still learning from people. I mean, it's you don't even want to look at like what my podcast like. I am the driest. And when I say driest, like some people just like glaze over when I talk to them, and I was like, "Oh, you want to see my playlist?" I'm like, "Book, book, book,
Yeah.
book, book." It's
Yeah.
like, marketing. It's whatever. It's like
Into all
like
that.
I
So,
never stop learning,
right.
never. So,
Right.
um, so yeah. So anyway, my journey with Qualitex was going to be I want I want to start a business track for the most part.
Yeah.
And I kept getting told, yeah, great idea, great idea, great idea. It never came.
Yeah.
So when this was presented to me, I was like, this is what I
Anagram.
have been talking about for years, years.
How was it presented
So
to you? Like, meaning not just education, because I know you talk about business, which is amazing. Is that what they
mhm.
were saying?
The whole premise of my job and the whole focus of it is obviously to educate everybody on latex and foils and what we
Right.
can do and designs and put together an education
Yes.
team and all that stuff. But the core principle
Yeah.
of what I have in my position is to get you to make money.
I love
So
that. That is
that is
that's
the core
that's what
principle.
people need, right? And again, not anything about Qualitex. They're gone. I get it. And people, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't take one of my classes. See what happens when you don't take one of my classes?
Yeah, no, for real, no, for sure. And again, we love everybody. There's things you can learn from everybody, but I've been
Yeah.
saying that from day one. This is a business, and even the Twister side,
Mm-hmm.
they complain they have no money.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm sorry, but everything costs money. You know what I'm saying? So, and if a company is having somebody like you featured, where you're teaching people how to make money, guess what? They're going to buy your product because
Mm-hmm.
you're now caring about your customer because we are the customer, right? For buying the latex. So Jill, that was a home run for them to have you.
Thank
And no,
you.
no, seriously, no, you're welcome. And that's exciting. So I love it. I love what you're doing. Um,
Thanks.
so how long have you been doing this so far? And how's it going? And I already know people have asked me a lot of questions, so I can't imagine how your days are, but um, what have people's feedback been since the focus has been about making money? You know, for like have people told you? I'm sure they have because I know I'm getting calls.
Yeah. So in August will be a year.
Oh wow,
So yeah,
that
it's
flew by.
approaching the 1 year. I know, right? I can't believe that already.
Yeah.
I have met some amazing people
Yes.
along the way. I am an old dog that still is learning new tricks.
Well, I'm not
So,
old, but yeah. Yeah.
just learning, different ways of doing stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
As far as I get great feedback from all the classes, and I am available. So we have an Instagram page. It's Anagram
Yeah.
Academy, dot Jill, and it's on Instagram. You can message me there with questions you have. We
Perfect.
have the Anagram Academy, which is on
Yeah, can you
Anagram
explain that
Balloons.
a little bit?
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
Anagram Academy is my baby.
Yes.
So that is our umbrella for this whole thing. And this is where you're going to start getting tidbits of education. We'll do little um, videos on how to properly inflate balloons. How are you supposed to take care of the orbs? If you have a problem with an orb, what are we supposed to do with it? How do you remove the valve from a clears? Now that the bubbles are gone, what is the replacement for
Tips
that?
and
Well,
tricks,
it's
it
the
sounds like.
clears. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did you know you could cut one of those open and heat seal them and put something in them? Like all those types of things to show you the things that you can make with our latex balloons. And the beautiful thing about our latex and foils is that they're better together. And what that actually means is that our latex colors and our foil colors match.
Match. Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that whole like this blue doesn't match that blue. Our satin luxe line matches our satin luxe line of foils and latex.
Right.
So So yeah,
Oh, that's great. So
yeah.
I don't know all the details of the Anagram Academy. Is that's complimentary and that's on Instagram?
Hmm.
Or there are other things that okay, got it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. Go on the Instagram page, and you're just going to click the anagram, and it's free. So go ahead and sign up for it,
Yes.
and you're going to get tidbits.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Perfect. That's great. And of course the class in series that's not going to be complimentary, but that be is
it
that
is. Yeah, it's only $99, but it
oh,
is a
okay.
full day
Great.
class. It
Great.
includes lunch, includes swag, it includes. You're going to get a really nice notebook.
Very nice.
It's in partnership with High Float
Oh yeah.
and sponsored by Mayflower.
Great.
So yeah,
Awesome.
so it's going to be a great class.
Very nice.
And the premise on it is this is our fall semester tour.
Hmm.
So everything that we are learning is kind of fall based, and fall has a world of opportunity
Oh,
to make
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
So between tailgating and football and back to school and
And
Halloween,
Halloween, Summerween.
yep, yep,
She's starting to get
and
bling bling,
fall,
right?
fall birthday
Yeah.
parties, and it is not the premise of that whole tour is not all organics. So
Oh,
we're
good.
going classic, we're going old
Yeah.
school, we're going framing, we're
Yeah.
going. We have your whole lunch hour is a lunch hour with me on the business side.
Yeah.
So you're going to get 90 tips to improve your business, guaranteed in
Oh,
90 days.
that's great. That's
Yeah.
great.
So
So you said some, I don't want to, you're triggering something.
okay.
Nothing against organic, but again, we all went through the pandemic, and for me, people know watching this, a little bit, Jill. I told you, my mom declined at that time, and I just had to just I was dealing with Bling and just dealing with her and getting a babysitter and only doing what I could do. But everybody was saying in the balloon world, organic, organic, organic. Okay, and again, the people who've been around were like, okay, forget that. But obviously, it's what customers wanted. Now, 5 years later, it's interesting because now all the organic that it's still sellable, of course. They now want to know what we know or what's old is new, and they want to
Mm-hmm.
know deco-twisting. Like they're like, oh wait a minute, Bling Bling Jam? I never heard of that. Saying, and all of a sudden I'm getting these interesting, messages, right? And everyone's saying, listen, I didn't even know there was a world outside of organic. Uh, how do I say this? What is your feeling about that in terms of somebody who started with organic and they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure it out where to go? I know you're going to say classic decor, but I want to, I should have said that. And deco twisting. But if someone's watching this and they're saying,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I learned it online, I learned it all on YouTube, I'm a do-it-yourselfer, but now I have competition and the competition is undercutting me on organic, but that's all I know how to do. And and how do I up my game? Where would you let's say they're a decorator, obviously. Well, that's what you know. We have twisters that are just do organic as well, and they're trying to up their game. That's another story.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you tell them? Of course, coming to conventional like Bling Bling Jam is key, but I don't want to speak for you. I'm sure if somebody just did organic, and now they feel they have to relearn everything because now they have lots of competition and they're realizing that it's they need to expand.
Mm-hmm. So um, let's do a quick um, math game here.
Yeah.
Okay, you down for a math game? Okay.
Yes.
So if you were to make a 5 foot column,
Hmm.
okay, how many balloons would you use for a 5 foot column approximately?
I don't do them, so
Like,
don't ask me. But
oh, you know, okay.
I don't.
So,
I'm a twister, really.
okay.
Very well.
So let's go at 10 inch, you're inflating your 11-inch balloon to 10 inches. So, at a 5 foot column, what do you add? Like 7 rows. So 7 times 4, you know. So that's how many balloons you're going to use.
Right.
Okay. Now let's make a 5 foot garland. How many balloons are you going to use in that 5 foot garland?
You're already
Oh,
showing people that it's more profitable.
okay. So
What you
now
said.
let's take that one step further.
Hmm.
I teach you in my class how to make a basic classic 5-foot spiral column.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, well, I'm not, but well, actually, I could. But let's just say that's what I'm teaching you, right? The instructions are pretty clear,
Right.
right? The process is pretty quick. If you're trained, you should be able to make a 5-foot column in probably less than 5 minutes.
Right.
Okay. Now, let's make an organic garland that's
Mm,
5 feet long, and you pass that off to an employee and you tell them, here's your balloons, go make a garland. Will if you put two employees side by side to make the garlands, they each make one, and you put two employees side by side with the instructions for the classic columns,
hmm
which ones do you think will look identical? It's going to
Right.
be the columns. It's not going to be the organics.
Right.
Organics are subject to interpretation, which
Yep.
means organics are not a very easily repeatable process if you wish to grow your business. I'm not saying you can't.
Right.
What I'm saying is classic decor all day long will make you more money than the organics,
Exactly.
just for that reason alone. The amount of time, I don't know anybody that can knock out a organic garland, and maybe there is, and if there is, come show me a organic 5-foot garland in 5 minutes or less.
Right.
I can show you a ton of old school people who can do a 5-foot column in 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
So again,
So,
time is money.
so let me take this to another step, and I hope that I'm
Okay.
not going to be anybody watching this. This is not meant anything against you. It's just,
I am not dissing anybody. And you know what? As
yeah,
long as you're making money, it
yeah,
does
yeah,
not
exactly.
matter. But are you making money?
That's how I feel too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're on the same page. So here's the thing. A lot of people are on Instagram and they've been doing it for 5 years or whatever it is, and they're taking these wonderful pictures, getting all these likes and all that. And again, great and nothing wrong with that. It's important. We all have to promote our businesses. I'm not saying anything bad, all right, if it's selling great. But I've spoken to some of these people, including Twisters. I'm like, so how many events are you booking from all this? And the answer is not many. So how does somebody that thinks since 2020 that that's the way to do it has the aha moment that, you know what? I think I need to make more money and stop. It's not about nothing against anything with followers. Don't misunderstand me, everybody watching this. How do I say this without it's not about you being famous. It's about you making money. You're in business.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the bottom line. I'm from Boston, and there's no other way to say it, and you're trying to make a living. So and it is fun to show a balloon and the excitement of it on Instagram. And of course, there's a funness to it. There's no question about that. I'm just talking about making a living now. Okay. So how do we take that perception of that's not to your total focus to, okay, how do I market this? How do I showcase this on Instagram? How do I from the organic, you know what I'm saying, type of thing? And I hope that wasn't
So,
a bad question.
no,
Okay.
yeah. So, first things first,
Yeah.
you should have a website.
Yes.
If nobody has learned anything after the TikTok fiasco earlier this year,
Yeah.
that TikTok was going to go away and how many people and it was shut down and all that stuff. Should that happen to Instagram, Facebook? Granted, TikTok came back, but and you do not have a website. Here's how social media works. You were in a rented house. You do not own anything that you have put on social media.
Mm,
It is owned. They own the platform. They're the landlord. If they want to evict you, they're going to evict you.
yeah.
And there's not a dang thing you can do about it.
Yeah.
However, if you have your own website where you've paid for it, you've hosted it, it is not a whole lot of money, people. Like, go ahead and spend the
Yeah.
couple bucks, to get your domain name and your dedicated email address. and I'm sure you were in my class, and maybe you only remember this one. It
Yeah.
was probably the email address I used, like hotballoonmama at
Yeah, I
gmail.com.
think I remember
But it's
that.
like your names can't be stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it needs to
I
be,
remember seeing
you
that
know,
somewhere. That was crazy.
Steve at bling bling dot, like
Yeah.
it needs to
Professional.
be a, yes,
Yes.
not a Gmail account.
Correct.
It needs to be a dedicated domain.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff sets you apart. That shows professionalism,
Hmm.
as opposed to having a Gmail account or this whole DM me for inquiries and all that stuff. No, put an inquiry form. If you must, put a link tree up there with a link to your inquiry form. But do not do the whole DM me thing. Like it's you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose if Facebook, if
Yeah.
Instagram, if TikTok does eventually all go away. You're gonna lose your entire business. And what are you gonna do? You are on rented land.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you, but the Gmail thing, I don't I have a different feeling about that because I had an email through GoDaddy and it got messed up or hacked or something. And I was also a realtor. And in
mhm.
the real estate shop, they said have a Gmail because it's backed up 3 times. And I was like, oh my God, because I had a fiasco. So but I understand what you're saying. But that's
My emails actually go through Gmail,
hmm
but they funnel through the, Jill at charlestonbloomcompany.com,
right.
but are hosted on Gmail. So there is a workaround for
Good.
that where they still look, you
Hmm.
know, where you have a dedicated domain, and make yourself look bigger than when you have to.
Of course.
Inquiries at, you have one. Oh, here's a little tip: make one that says legal at.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
if you want to, have a tough with somebody,
Yeah.
you've got one that says legal at.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole website thing, that's how you take yourself. Now,
Yeah.
as far as the whole social media and the followings thing,
Hmm.
what I can say about that is everybody's stuck around whatever that follower number is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all the likes and all that stuff. If 90% of the people following you are other balloon people, they are not your customer.
Correct.
So you're so stuck on that number and getting all your friends, because when we all start out, hey, follow me, follow me, follow
Yeah.
me, so we can get my numbers up and all that stuff. Well, these people are never going to buy from you.
Correct.
So why are you even trying to promote to them?
Correct.
You're expelling time, you're expelling energy to somebody who's actually not going to be your client.
Yeah.
You should be split testing ads.
Yeah.
You should be running Google ads. Well, you guess what? You can't do that if you don't, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you got to have a place to live. You should be
It
collecting Google reviews.
yeah. It's funny, Jill. Nothing against any other balloon brands, right? And please don't take this, I'm not talking about Anagram, I'm talking about some others. Sometimes they're focused, there's different management, and they're all about the social media likes and the
Mm-hmm.
followers. I'm like, what are you thinking? I'm like, and you're right, what you're saying. It's just it blows my mind. It's
Well, for a manufacturer, it makes sense to go after balloon people. From a
yes,
balloon company's
yes,
point of view, you should not be going after other balloon people. You should be going
yes,
after your target audience. And
yes,
if you don't know who your target audience is, come to
yes,
my class because I'm going to show you.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
Yeah, that's
yeah,
not what
you
I
need to
meant.
know.
I
Yeah,
meant about the followers, but not just the balloon people. You're right. You're right, though.
yeah.
Uh,
And it's when it drives me crazy when people say, I'm like, oh, who's your ideal client? And they're like, oh, everybody needs balloons, everybody buys balloons. Yeah, but if you sell to everybody, you're taking everything. So that means that you're up for negotiation.
yeah,
If you have a very strong line and boundary around your
niche.
company and who your ideal client is and who your avatar is and all that
Yes,
stuff, you're going to know exactly how to talk to that person, and you're going to be speaking their love language, and they're
yes,
going to trust you, and then they're going to spend money with you because you made them feel good, you made them understood, and all that stuff, and you gave them value.
yes.
So
Yes,
we can't all
you're
sell to
spot on
everybody.
with that, Jill. I have a friend who's really big on YouTube, and she talks about the avatar and all that, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
I've been focusing on myself. And she says social media, even on YouTube, everyone thinks that you have to have all these subscribers because they want to make money. It's chump change. It's about you making money booking or whatever you're trying to do.
Hmm.
if you're getting the return and they're going to your website, like you're saying, and they're liking you from either Instagram or wherever it is, then you're winning. And that's true. And Jill, you know what you're talking about. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to nurture that relationship. So like we have a whole process. If somebody goes like if you were to go to our website, right, and you were
Mhm.
to start a cart, there's a sequence that in about 6 hours, I'm sure you've been on a website where it's like, oops, you forgot your cart.
Oh yeah.
We have that too. It's a very nurturing, like, oh, did you
Yes.
forget? Like, oh,
Yes.
do you still need, even like our invoicing system, it's like, okay, so your 3 days where we told you we would hold your data coming up.
Yeah.
What did you
Is that
decide?
AI generated?
I'm sorry.
That AI?
No, it's a sequence thing that we
Sure.
have in place, as far as policies and procedures and the sequencing we have set up. I mean,
Sure.
our website, even you can go in there and do a chat. Now, some of that is AI generated where you can
Yeah.
ask a question like, what are your hours? Like, our frequently asked questions are in a chat box. It'll
Right.
say, what are your hours? And the chat will answer that for them.
Oh,
So
very
we don't
nice.
have to do that.
Hmm.
So, I want a book, or somebody has a question about a specific product, like, they're on, I'm going to use Stitch because yesterday was
Yeah.
Stitch Day. The Stitch Airwalker shows sold out. When are you going to get this back, in stock? I'm looking for a bouquet that matches this. The chat will come back to somebody in the office and it will say, this customer message from this page on the website. So we
Oh,
can
cool.
actually see, or if a customer has a hard time placing an order for whatever reason, we can go in the back end and they can capture their cart and
Right.
push it through on the other side for them and continue the checkout journey so they don't lose the customer.
Yeah. Very
So,
nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jill, that was a mouthful. I'm so sorry. I mean, I was going to go. And it's good because the YouTube thing is what you guys are watching. We're not scripting this. We're just talking, having a conversation. We want it that way, but it's real and it's good stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. You have so much information. Let me ask you this question. So you've been at Anagram for a year, and I will
Mm-hmm.
be much longer. Uh, where are you going with it? And by the way, I love your balloon doggy in the back on the. I just noticed it on
Like,
the top.
him.
Yes, yes, yes. Where are you going to go with the educational part and the Anagram, academy? Is there going to be, what's your vision? If you already told us, okay, but if there's anything else that you haven't told us yet, or are you not allowed to tell us? I understand that too. Secret. So please just tell us that secrets are coming. It's okay.
Oh, well, I mean, there is a
Yeah.
lot coming.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would do is absolutely sign up. It costs you nothing to
Okay.
sign up. Go over to the Instagram page. I don't know if you can link that, but I can send it to you.
Sure.
And go ahead and give us a follow. And then this way you're, up to date. I get like, I'll be driving in my car. And granted, I haven't done a whole lot of those because I've been focused on this tour lately, but I'll get in my car and I'll just be like, you know what? Somebody asked me a question about pricing. I think I'm going to address that. And I just start talking to the camera and I talk to you guys.
Yeah.
So you get little business tidbits like that. You'll get, let's make a new design.
Oh,
I'm going to
nice.
show you how to use our product. I'm going to show you
Right.
new colors coming out. So if you're not familiar, so with the latex, we have our standard, we have our 5 inch, we have our 11 inch, we have an 18 inch, and we have a 24 inch. That's what we have in our, standard,
Yeah.
rounds. Then we have our entertainers in 160, 260, 360.
Mm-hmm.
We have hearts in 8s and 12s. So I'm going to actually have those at Bling.
Oh,
So I'm
you
going to
are.
have some of the, I am.
Nice.
And we have linking balloons,
Yeah.
which I will also have some
What
at
size?
Bling Bling. Oh, we have two sizes. We have a 6 and a
Oh,
12.
wonderful. And
Yeah.
those come in different colors.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
very nice.
So I'm going to have a sampling of everything for everybody to come
They'll
take a
be
look
jamming
at.
away.
Yeah. So,
Wow. Um, do you guys have, well, you may not because you have the foils. Do you have latex prints or no? I think the answer is no, right? Right now?
not yet. Yeah. No.
Okay. But they're looking at everything. They're keeping,
I
uh,
mean, that's,
yeah,
it, again, they're new to the game. So
yes.
better to come out, focused than come out and just like
Yeah.
throw everything out and see what
Yeah.
sticks.
Oh, for sure. Um, Before let's go on to blooming in a minute, but let me ask you, did we forget anything about your position in Anagram and balloon Anagram Academy? Anything else that you wanted to say about
Hmm.
anything about what you're doing at Anagram before we talk about your classes and about Bling Bling?
I mean, probably, but
I
off the
know
top of my
there's a
head,
lot of
I
stuff.
think we did. We talked about a lot.
We did, and I'm picking your brain, but I learned a lot
That's
on
okay.
this call, and I hope everybody else did too, because I didn't know a lot of things about you. So this has been great.
Ah,
Yeah, really good, really knowledgeable. So
I
okay,
like I like dark chocolate.
yeah, yeah. Perfect, perfect. My mom did too. That's what she always said. She said it's really good for you. She wanted.
Hmm.
It was like her birthday, Mother's Day, everything. Dark chocolate and red roses. It's like if you didn't have it,
Uh,
it's like you just knew you had to do that.
nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about Bling Bling. We're
Okay.
super excited to have you, and is his name Cameron? Is that how you say it?
Cameron. Yep,
Cameron.
Cameron.
And I haven't met him yet. He's the
Okay.
marketing guy. And I know you're also sponsoring Darren Mortarboy from Northern
Yep.
Ireland. We're excited about that
Yep.
too. It's gonna be amazing. And you're gonna be in the jam room, and people, of
Yep.
course, it's a deco-twisting convention, so there's a lot of questions and a lot of who knows where it's gonna go, right? But let everybody know a little bit about why you're excited to come and what you're teaching and sharing, and maybe a little bit what your role is and Cameron's role is, I guess, in terms of so
Okay.
be prepared.
So let's start with Cameron. So Cameron's in charge of sales. So he's our sales guy. So he's gonna be there when obviously when I'm gonna be in class. He'll be able to answer questions. Um, and he's a fun guy. You're gonna enjoy him.
Yes. Does he
He's
know
yeah.
balloons?
No, he does not. He came
Oh,
in.
that's
He
funny.
does not.
Oh
So
gosh.
his
Okay.
background, he came from 3M.
Wow.
Yeah. So he is not a balloon guy. So how interesting is that?
That is interesting. Well, he will
So
be okay.
his his inaugural Virgin Balloon event, ready? Twist and shout.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's funny.
And guess what? He's still here.
Yes. 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 Awesome.
So he's
Well,
excited to
nothing
come
against any
because
other convention, but
no, no, no.
no. But we had this talk on my Zoom the other day. We all love all balloon conventions, but Bling Bling Jam is just that much better, and he'll see that.
Ah, nice,
That's what we
nice,
say.
nice. All right. Well, let's start there. I have
Yeah.
never been, so this is going to be new for
Yes.
me.
Yes.
So everybody treat me nice,
Oh,
please,
we will. But
please.
there's a lot of people that are uh, either full time or trying to be full time. So they're
Okay, nice,
they roll like you do, Jill, about business. So I think you speak the language of Bling Bling Jam. So that's
nice,
great.
nice. I like
Mhm.
that, like that, like
Yep.
that. Okay, so let's see. What do I've got going on? So I have four classes. Two of them are business classes, and two of them are decorator classes.
Yeah.
So the one we're going to deal with deliverable marquees. So we're going to work on those.
Nice.
And then, yep. And then the other one is all foils. So we're going to work with foils and how to make sellable foil designs
Yeah.
that actually will make you money.
Because some places
So it,
can't have latex, you
yeah,
said.
correct.
Right.
Yep, yep, yep.
Wow.
So, and then the other business classes, we have the Ask Jill Anything class. So this is where we can get, you know, talking about whatever it is you want to know. I will tell
Yeah.
it. I'm not gatekeeping anything here. So this is
Yeah.
your chance to
That's
pretty much
amazing,
ask
Jill.
me
That's
whatever you need to know.
amazing. Amazing.
Like we can talk about pricing, we can talk about marketing, we can talk about how I got started, we can talk about what my biggest flop was, what my biggest, proudest moment is, how did I don't care, whatever it is, you need help with something, that's the class to come and we'll talk about it. And honestly, if you need me for something after the class, come find me. So,
Yeah, they'll know to take you
I'm
out for dinner,
accessible.
drinks, and chocolate. They got it. No kidding. It's a fun group.
A martini and a dark
Yes,
chocolate, you got
yes,
me.
yes.
So, and then the other class. What was the other class? I forgot what the other class was off the top
That's
of my
okay.
head.
But all your
But it's a
classes are
business
sort of,
class.
yeah, but all your classes, even though the ones, the marquee, you're going to be talking biz. That's how you talk.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we're gonna, and everything's sellable. I mean,
Yeah.
and I believe in showing you designs that are interchangeable. I'm gonna give you the foundation of how to do this, and
Mhm.
you're gonna take it from foundation to whatever you want it to be.
Perfect.
Whatever I teach you, the fundamentals are going to be the same because processes are what are going to make you money.
Yes.
Going ahead and teaching other people to do this so you don't have to do this. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't tell, other than having to do stuff for Anagram, I couldn't tell you the last time I actually blew up a balloon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's a nice place to be in.
Right. Right.
Not that I don't like to, like, there's a difference between having to do it and wanting to do it.
Right. Right.
So,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. And again, my people are excited to have you come. I mean, I call her Mama Sharon. She's in her she'll call me. She's older. She could be my mother, okay? And she's like, "Oh, baby, we got Jill Shortreed coming." And you should hear what she's saying. She's like, "You don't understand." I go, "No, I do understand." She goes, "No, she's like way back." She goes, "She gets it." So she's telling everybody, and it's exciting.
Yay.
But they all want you to themselves, so good luck. Take a
Huh?
note.
Hey, we can be like a date. I don't know. We can speed date people. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. Was there anything else you wanted to share with everybody about your classes? And of course, in your own words, of course, I know you guys are having your tour, but we're having a convention which has a lot of variety as well. Nothing,
Hmm.
two different things. If people Why they should come to Bling Bling Jam, and either in person or virtual, as we have virtual replays too, mostly for the twisting. We're gonna do our best to tape the decor, and or next year, you know what I'm saying, type of thing.
Okay. So, I mean, firstly, let's start with whatever the convention is. Obviously, you're the most relevant because you're the one, coming up.
Yeah,
Um, Investing in going to anything, okay, is going to grow your business. And it doesn't stop the minute you leave.
all right.
Like, it's taking what you've learned and it's, taking it and transitioning it and bringing it back because there are people who are addicted to learning but fail on the execution part.
Yeah,
So, I'm hoping, my hope is coming here, and meeting everybody is that you're going to take some nugget of something, even if it's one thing, and whatever the investment is to go to Bling Bling, and you're going to get that back tenfold.
yeah,
And then you're going to realize how valuable it is to invest in yourself and invest in your business, and, I'm sure there are people who can't make it for whatever reason. Maybe it's
right.
economics, but maybe for next year, is this a year? I'm sorry. Is this a yearly?
It is, yes.
Okay. So for next year, if you were to start a separate account and you were to take 10% of everything you sold in every job, I bet you by the time next year rolled around, you would have enough in that kitty to be able to buy your way to Bling Bling, your airline ticket if you need it, your hotel. I mean, gosh, those hotels are dirt cheap.
Yeah, mine are.
Um, so if you put aside a section, and nobody's going to squabble if you raise your prices 10%,
Right,
even 5%, and match the other 5%. I don't know, but find a way, not an excuse, to
right,
invest in your business.
right. No,
So I
that's
guess,
great. And
yeah.
we're the oldest deco twisting event around. We embraced it. That's still running, I'm saying. That's
Okay.
not a new term, but we've always done that, and I think that my feedback has been from the decorators, especially the organic ones and all that. They all want the embellishments to know how to do that because, like you yourself, Jill, doesn't do much twisting. But if you
Mm-mm.
add those on, it makes a lot of things worth more. And the twisters, adding on the decor, because it's
Yep.
like bingo. It's a no-brainer, and it's easy for us to learn decor. Easier, I think,
Right.
to pick it up. Because twisting, I think, is actually harder.
Yeah. I do. It's just not,
Not your thing.
it's not my thing. But you know what? I know that,
Yeah,
and I'm okay with that.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, you know
again, I
what your niche is and what you're good at. And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
perfect.
So I'll never try to sell something that, or teach something that I'm not,
Yes.
familiar with.
Yes.
So,
You're
you
also
couldn't, if you told me like I need you to teach a twisting class, you'd all learn worms or snakes. That would be the extent
I
of
would never
like
do
my
that to
class.
you. I would never do. However, I can't tell you someone's not going to put you in the corner and say, "Jill, you're learning this right now." I don't know. I can't because my
Hey,
group gets
but you know
excited.
what? If
Yeah.
I can leave with a new skill, I'm
Oh,
good
perfect.
because I've
Perfect.
learned something. And again,
Yeah.
it's not just it's a give and take. Like I want to
Yeah.
learn just as much from you guys as I'm
Yes.
hoping you want to learn from me.
Yes.
So
Yes. My group is like that, and they get excited. They want to teach you something. So it's like that's why I was forewarning you. That's great that you.
that's okay.
That's great.
And Cameron's the one you got to teach. He's very
Oh,
new.
sure.
So he needs
Sure.
to learn.
For sure. That's awesome. And again, we have other people excited that Vicky Kimball will be with us for the first time teaching and part of the competitions with Debbie. She's been a Bling Bling before, and she's super excited to be using your balloons in her class and super excited you're going to be there as well. So we got some people that are just like, wow, it's going to be great. So
Yeah, I love Vicky. I've known Vicky for years.
yeah, she's great. So,
Yeah.
was there anything else that we missed or anything? I think we completed everything, but was there anything else that we can think of?
I mean, you just need my blood type and my date of birth and social security
No,
number, and you're
I'm not.
good to go.
No, no, no. I'm not doing that to you. I'm not like that. No, no. Other people might ask you, Yeah, all good.
No, I mean, no. I mean, I think, we've got a good, you know, I think you got a good foundation. You said you learned something new, some new things about me. So,
Oh, for sure. This was a great
yeah.
and that's what I like about the interviews and the feedback is too that everybody is watching these. So this will air next week sometime as it's Friday today, that's the day we're taping it. It'll premiere on the station. I'll see what the day is. And guys, please, this will be on the YouTube station for Bling Bling Jam for years to come. But shortly as the premiere comes, make comments, show Jill some
Give me
love.
some love.
Yes, please do that. She'll look for that. It'll be great. And also, any questions, feel free to message her or put it on there, and we'll check it out. And if not, if she hasn't seen it, I'll let her know. And let's bling it on, everybody. We're super excited. Thank you so much, Jill. This was amazing.
Oh, thanks
Really,
for
really
having me.
appreciate your time of sharing your knowledge in Anagram and Anagram Academy and all the great things you're bringing to light. And we thank you and thank Anagram for hiring you. This is going to be amazing. So, with
Oh,
that
thank
said,
you.
thank you. And we'll see you at Bling Bling Jam, everybody. Let's bling it on.
Couple weeks.
Couple weeks
Yay.
away. Take care. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.